Introduction. The object that meet the geometrical shape and concept the example hexagon shape in wall pattern the mouse. Geometry is able to make a contribution to this process by dealing with geometric figure and forms as element, as wheel, proportion, angle and transformation as relation between them. The most location in a strategic area of Kuala Lumpur is near to Old Malayan Railway Station, a resource building Islamic as museum. Pus Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur Bird Park and Lake Garden. The mosque was opened in 1965 and named by for the first Prime Minister Malaysia, Tunku Abdul Rahman. He recommended the name Masjid Negara, which reflects importance of the Islam in Malaysia. Location National Mosque of Malaysia, Masjid Negara Malaysia, and address Jalan Perdana, Tasik Perdana, 50,480 Kuala Lumpur, Wilayah Persekutuan Kuala Lumpur.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Maya Raini. I will explain about the user or function. The wall area is made without closed wall and has a lot of space. This is because it providing fresh air, wind, and natural light can pass through and does not make the user inside feel hot. The repetition of pattern creates a cold and ambient atmosphere in this religious space. In addition, the wall can attract tourists to the uniqueness of Islamic art that apply geometry shape in architecture. Besides that, it is also said to be a personal screen because it can protect users inside by not showing or exposing themselves to outsiders. Next, for the size, the geometric pattern ingrained on the wall has the same size and similar shape. This pattern has been made into seed-form pattern by drawing construction line over a circle divided to 6 parts and then tessellation it. Tessellation has made the size for each of these geometric shapes similar to each other. The pattern is made repeatedly until it covers the desired part of the mosque and create more harmony.
The 2D shapes that our pattern have are hexagon, circle, equilateral triangle, isosceles trapezoid, pentagon, and kite. Furthermore, the wall have a thickness, so 3D shapes are exist, which is triangular prism, cylinder, hexagonal prism, pentagonal prism, and kite prism.
So I'm going to talk about the geometrical concept and measurement. So we saw that the wall pattern in the concrete wall, it looks like a regular hexagon. So we will talk about the property of regular polygon. We also mentioned about central angle, interior and exterior angle, ephetum and sides, area, volume, circumscribed and inscribed polygon, and also the last one is congruent angle and side. So for the property of regular hexagon, we saw that the Islamic pattern in the concrete wall looks like a regular hexagon, and it also satisfies both of the regular polygon property, which is equilateral and equiangular. Equilateral is a property that said regular polygon has the same equal length for each of their sides, and equiangular is a property that said that the polygon has the same vertex angle as the interior angle. The next is we have a central angle, is which an angle whose vertex is the center and whose sides contain two consecutive vertex of the polygon. And we have the central angle formula, which is 360 degree divided by n, in which n is a polygon number of or a number of side polygon. So n is 6, so 6 degree divided by 6 equal to 60 degree is the central angle. So we're moving to the interior and the exterior angle. Interior angle is an angle in each vertex that are inside of the polygon, and the exterior angle is an angle outside the vertex that form by one side as the extension of an adjacent side. So both of these angles has their own formula, and we just also replace the n to the 6, which is the number of sides in the hexagon regular. So we both have the interior angle of the regular hexagon is 120 degree, and for the exterior angle we have 60 degree. So this is the both part of the regular polygon. We have ephetum and sides. Ephetum is a line segment which perpendicular line from the center of polygon O to the each side, and the side of polygon is several line segment that connect to each other until it form polygon. So we know that ephetum inside is always equal length for each part of the inside the polygon. So based on the radius of the wall pattern given, which is, we know that the radius is 0.5 meter according to the report. So we're using the theorem Pythagoras, a square equal to b square plus c square. So we're using ephetum and side. Ephetum is a line segment which perpendicular line from the center of polygon to each side. Meanwhile, side of polygon is several line segment that connect to each other until it form polygon itself. So we know that side of regular polygon is always equal length, and also for the ephetum. So we're using the cosine tangent formula, and it is also given the radius of the hexagon is 0.5 meter. So we're using cosine tangent equal to the ephetum over radius, and we get ephetum is equal to 0.433 meter. And for the side, using side theta equal to the half side over radius. And the last one, we will get the half of the side is 0.25 meter. So the side of hexagon, we multiple with 2, we will get 0.5 meter as the side of the hexagon. So we're moving for the area and volume. Area is defined as the region occupied inside the boundary of two-dimensional figure. So the area of hexagon, we see at the image, we saw that the upper surface is the area of the hexagon. Meanwhile, volume can be defined as a three-dimensional space enclosed by a boundary or occupied by an object. So we assume that volume is an area that have three-dimensional space. So the three-dimensional space for the hexagon, we call it hexagonal prism. So for the formula to calculate area of a regular polygon, we're using half multiple with product ephetum and perimeter. So we replace ephetum is 0.433 meter, and perimeter of the hexagon is 3 meter. So the last one, we will get area is equal to 0.65 meter square. So for the calculation of volume, we don't know the thickness of the wall. So we compare, we ratio the radius of hexagon ratio with wall thickness, which is 4.5:1. So we know that the radius of hexagon is 0.5. So we compare both of them, and then we will get h thickness equal to 0.111 meter. So volume of hexagonal prism is equal to the product area of surface times height or thickness. So we know that area of surface for the hexagon is 0.65 meter square times with 0.111 meter, and the volume of hexagon prism in the wall pattern is 0.072 meter cube. So that's the volume of the hexagonal prism. So we're moving for the circumscribed and inscribed polygon. A circum polygon is a polygon in which each of the side is tangent to the circle, and for the inscribed polygon is a polygon in which all vertices lie on a circle. So both of the circumscribed and inscribed polygon have their own calculation. For the circumscribed polygon, the circle is inside the polygon, so we know that the ephetum is referred to the radius of circle. So we're using the formula area of circle, which is pi times radius square. So we're using the radius as the ephetum, which is 0.433 meter, and for the inscribed polygon, which is the polygon is inside the circle, so its radius of hexagon is referred to the radius of a circle. So we're using the same formula area of circle, which is pi times radius square. So we replace radius of circle with the radius of hexagon, and we will get 0.785 meter square. Meanwhile, the inscribed circle is 0.589 meter square. So we're moving for the congruent side. So in this slide, we will show you on how to proving the side of each hexagon is same. Okay, hexagon have congruent side. So the question is given line segment AD and line segment BC is bisect in the center O. Prove that line segment AB is congruent to line segment CD. So for the first step, we need to prove that triangle AOB is congruent to OCD. And for the last step is we're using the theorem of CPCDC that state the corresponding part, including side of the congruent triangle, is also congruent. So we have that line segment AB is congruent to line segment CD. So therefore, the sides of the hexagon is congruent to each other. And for the last one, we have congruent angle. So this slide we will prove that each of the interior angle inside the hexagon is same. So this equation given the ABCDE F is the regular hexagon. Prove that angle ABC is congruent to CDE. So this is given that all regular hexagon have congruent sides to each other. So for the first step, we need to prove that ABC triangle is congruent to CDE triangle. And then for the last step is using the same theorem CPCDC and state that the corresponding angle in congruent triangle is also congruent. So we can conclude that the angle ABC, which is interior angle in vertex B, is congruent to the angle CDE, which is the interior angle in vertex D. So we can conclude that both sides and angle of a regular hexagon is always congruent to each other. That's all from me. Thank you.
The 2D shapes that our pattern have are hexagon, circle, equilateral triangle, isosceles trapezoid, pentagon, and kite. Furthermore, the wall have a thickness, so 3D shapes are exist, which is triangular prism, cylinder, hexagonal prism, pentagonal prism, and kite prism. Our motif of pattern are represent Islamic geometric pattern. Geometric pattern in Islamic art are usually based on the combination of square and circle. Our motif consists of three transformations. The first one is rotation. On rotation of the first hexagon image by 180 degrees on the blue dot, we got the second hexagon image. The second one is translation. The first hexagon image was shifted down and then to the right as shown by the red arrow. The transformed image form is shown in the third hexagon. Also, moving the first hexagon shape to the right as shown by the black arrow gives the transformed image shown in the second hexagon. And the third one is reflection. The first hexagon image was reflected based on the mirror line and the mirror image the second hexagon formed will also the same distance from the mirror line. For transformation of our pattern only consists one transformation, which is reflection. The orange pattern image was reflected based on the mirror line and the mirror image, the green pattern image is formed will also the same distance of the mirror line.
Our study is about geometric pattern on the wall. The geometrical shape of the object in 2D shapes are hexagon, circle, equilateral triangle, isosceles trapezoid, pentagon, kite. The geometrical shapes of the object in 3D shapes are triangular prism, cylinder, hexagon prism, pentagon prism, kite prism. So we can find that the hexagon central angle is 60 degree, while the interior angle is 120 degree. Hexagon exterior angle is 60 degree epitome for hexagon is 0.433 meter and the side is 0.5 meter. Hexagon's area is 0.65 meter squared. Hexagon has 0.589 meter squared area inscribed angle inscribed circle. Volume of hexagonal prism is 0.072 meter cube. As the conclusion, we can conclude that the pattern in that wall is regular hexagon, as the pattern in the wall is a regular hexagon which satisfy both equilateral and equiangular property.